welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm in my usual spot for when we talk about my no-buy, and I thought it was really high time that I gave you guys an update because I've not filmed a video talking about my no-buy in detail for a while. I feel like my most recent video to do with my no-buy talked about the money side of things and the figures and comparing numbers and percentages and all those sorts of things, and I feel like that trend has for the most part continued. I'm definitely not spending as much money as I was last year, and so I felt there was no point to really repeat that video. So I will talk about the money side of things when we come to the end of my no-buy at the end of the year. I will sort of summarise and give you the final figures and all of that. But for today, I thought it'd be a really good idea to talk about the rules I originally set for myself in January for my no-buy and let you guys know how I'm actually doing with those, whether I'm keeping up with them, whether there's some that I have completely changed or somewhere I'm mostly keeping up with it, but there have been a few little slip-ups here and there, or if I've just been completely spot on and followed that rule. So I've got with me the original rules that I set. I'm going to read back through them and we'll see where we are. The first thing, and I've noticed, and it's kind of embarrassing, is not only did I write down the rules, I also kind of wrote myself like a mini script for what I wanted to say at the start of the video, because it was only my second video when I talked about these rules and I was really a little bit camera shy and didn't have much confidence. It's strange how far you can come and that talking to a camera can just become normal. But let's have a look through these rules. So where do they start? So the first one I said was about my car. I was allowed to pay for things for my car like petrol, insurance, MOT, service, vehicle tax. That's all gone ahead. I have paid for all those things. What I'm not allowed to buy is unnecessary gadgets, air fresheners, novelty items. That is all 100% fine. I have been gifted one air freshener from a friend and I've not actually put it in my car because with being in lockdown, they only last for so long once you open it, and I was hardly using my car, but now I'm going to work every day. I should put that in my car, so that's something I need to do. But I personally have not spent any money on novelty items for my car. So tick on the first one, we have done well with that. I didn't think that would be a challenge, to be honest, that was fine. The next one is groceries. So what did I say? So the first thing I said was to meal plan for the week, which I was already doing. I still have been doing. With lockdown, we have been getting our groceries delivered rather than going to the shops ourselves, but that really hasn't changed. If anything, it has meant we have spent less on our groceries because we're really focusing on using up what we have and then only buying what we need. That was another area of minimalism that I didn't really see happening, and that was that I also felt very cluttered in my kitchen if I had like a surplus of sauces or pasta or something. Like, I only need to keep in my cupboards what I need for that week, and so if I've got like 3 sauces for this and just loads of stuff, more than a week's worth, it really does bother me now. So we have been making sure we use up before we rebuy. So in a sense, I feel like our weekly shop has become a lot cheaper. And we haven't been having so many impulse buys, because when you're wandering around the shop, you sort of see things and you put them into your trolley and it kind of happens. Whereas when you're online, unless you actually think about that thing yourself, you don't put it into your basket, because it's not like you've seen it and gone, oh, I fancy that. And with shopping online, you do have to actually, it has to cross your mind whilst you're logging it all, and it's a bit of a process. So that has worked out in our favours. However, what I've said was slipping in treats and snacks, and one of the reasons I didn't want to put treats and snacks into my trolley was just from a health point of view. This one wasn't so much a financial or a minimal point of view. This was from a health point of view. I didn't want to be over consuming like junk food and things like that. For the most part, we've been pretty good, because in the past, in 1 week, we'd have like ice cream and chocolate and cakes and all of the crisps, all of these things going into our basket. And now we pretty much limit ourselves to 1, maybe 2 treats a week if there's an offer on. For me, it's usually chocolate and sometimes, very occasionally, ice cream. But I've cut out things like biscuits completely. I don't eat crisps anymore. We very, very rarely have muffins. It's not one of those things that like crosses my mind, as I said, but we sometimes have those as a treat if it does happen to cross my mind, but it doesn't very often. So I can't say honestly that we have bought no treats. We are still spending them, and when we do our figures at the end of the year, I will be including that because it was somewhere where we slipped up. And honestly, my mindset has changed on that a little bit. I think, yes, you've got to be reasonable. I don't think it's sensible to indulge in like loads of different treats every single week, but I think you have got to have a little something. And if I want a little bit of chocolate to enjoy of an evening after a long day of work, then I think that should be okay. And that's just a slight change we've made. So yes, I have been having treats. The next one is gifts. I did say that I'm allowed to buy gifts for others, for birthdays and whatnot, and I have continued to do so. That has all gone according to plan. And I did mention when I set this rule that I consider myself to be quite a sensible person when it comes to buying gifts. I also consider myself to be quite a generous person. Within reason, if it's something a person wants, I will just buy it for them for their birthday. My mum always says, oh no, it's too much money, don't spend your money on me, that sort of thing. And I don't mind doing that, spending a little bit on people, but at the same time, I'm not ridiculous. I don't go completely mad with it, and I know what is a reasonable amount to spend. So that one's been absolutely fine. I feel like so far we're doing okay. The only slip up we've had is a bit of snacking. The next one is food on the go. I can say 100% this has been absolutely fine. I have not bought any food on the go. I don't stop for coffee in the morning. I don't use drive-thrus or anything like that. I have been now, since lockdown ended, to 2 restaurants for actual meals, and that in my rules was completely allowed. If that's like a social or a family thing, then having a meal out was absolutely fine. But no, I've not stopped off for food on the go or anything like that. I also said that I would take my flask out some more. I think I mentioned this in another video. I really haven't. I take my flask to work every day, but when I go out for any other purpose, I really don't think to take my flask, but I'm not really a big drinker anyway, so usually it's not an issue. I've not felt that I need to stop for a drink, so it's not been a problem. So that one, 100%. The next section was makeup and beauty, and I would say I've done very well with this one considering my background with makeup and spending money on makeup. So I have done what I said I would do in the sense of only purchasing new products when I've completely run out of another. That's been absolutely fine in terms of makeup. I've still got some surplus. I said, if you can remember back to this video, I said in my drawer I've got like a small section down the side of unopened products that I still need to use. Some of those are still there. I'm slowly working my way through my makeup. That is all going to plan. I have had to repurchase like the shampoo and conditioner I have a couple of times because it ran out. The only exception to this was that there was a new product that I tried, which, you know, I could have lived without. I am still using it every day. It's just a face serum. It was something I saw and I thought I would really like to try that. So it wasn't breaking a rule in the sense that I was buying something I already had, but it was buying something that so far I had been perfectly able to do without. So in a sense, you could consider it unnecessary. So I did buy a face serum, and I don't know if you'd consider that breaking the rules. Let me reread the rule, hold on. So I didn't mention anything like that in terms of skincare that I didn't already use, because obviously I didn't foresee myself needing to use it or wanting to use it. So I'm gonna kind of say that is a slip up, because if it's a no buy, then I should have discouraged myself from buying a product that I had been perfectly fine coping without. I think that's part of the point of a no buy. You don't just buy something else just to try it when you're supposed to be cutting down. But at the same time, I don't regret it. I've really enjoyed using the product and it has really helped my skin. I'm a person with problematic skin and I have enjoyed it. So I don't have a regret, but yeah, I would say that's a rule break. Clothes. So this says I can buy clothes to replace something if it's worn out or if I genuinely do need it for work, and if something is bought, it should be ethically made or second-hand, and don't buy any accessories. That's fine. I definitely haven't bought any accessories, and follow a one in, one out sort of policy. So the only clothing I have bought, one thing I don't count as clothing, and that was Thinx period underwear, because I just decided it was time to make a transition into a more sustainable option, and that was the one I went for. That was quite a spend in terms of the financial side of it, if you're trying to sort of spend minimally, that was quite a large purchase. I bought 7 pairs, so if you know the pricing of these, you know how much that cost. It's also shipping, and because it came from abroad, I also had to pay an import charge, which was quite expensive and a bit of a surprise when it came through my door. I clearly didn't research that element of it enough. I was too busy researching like ethics and environmental factors and things like that. So I bought those, and then I have also had to purchase a few bits and pieces for work, simply because I have recently started a new job, and some of the items I had in my workwear wardrobe, well, first of all, many of them didn't fit anymore because over lockdown I have lost a little bit of weight. I'm not gonna pretend I'm not proud of that. I did lose a tiny bit of weight, but I was very borderline between 2 sizes, and I always went for the larger just for the sake of comfort, and I really was on the fence, so now I'm in the size below, like completely in that size below. So a lot of my clothes are a little bit too big. For many of them, I am just making it work. I'm still wearing them and getting the most out of them. But some of them, they're just, it couldn't work anymore. It couldn't be done, and a change needed to be made. And in the other sense, I felt not all of my clothes were appropriate for this different job role. So I did want just a couple of bits and pieces just to balance that out. But I have followed the definite 1 in, 1 out. So if I bought something to go into my workwear wardrobe, the thing that wasn't working, whether it was too big, the wrong style, it got swapped out. So I haven't added to my wardrobe, I've exchanged. But I don't feel like I've spent a lot of money on clothing. I would say it's easily below £100. We're not talking a lot of items, we're talking a small handful of items, just to make sure I have enough clothes in my wardrobe to get me through a working week, because I always do laundry at the end of the week. So I'm actually going to call that somewhat of a rule break, because I was doing so well in that I hadn't bought any clothes for so long, and I was really, really proud of that. But needs must, and I did do my research. I shopped in stores that have good ethics, and the only thing I couldn't do was shop secondhand, because as I keep mentioning in a lot of my videos, so many of our secondhand stores still aren't open in the UK, and I know there's the option to shop secondhand online, but for me that just seems like quite a bit of a faff, and it was like, I kind of need to get this sorted now, and I need to know that the clothes fit. And at the moment in shops you can't try on clothes, so you have to take them home, try them on, and then return them. It's already quite a faff enough as it is, so I just wanted to get it done and sorted. So I did buy new, but I did also do my research to make sure I shopped ethically. And you know, I don't necessarily have to buy like really expensive items, it just needs to do a job. The next thing was household. So at present there's nothing I need for my house. I'm trying to have less stuff, so I shouldn't be buying anything. That is very true, and I have continued that. I haven't been buying decorative items for my house. I haven't bought any more plants. The last plant I got was a ficus for my birthday. That was a gift, even though I said I could have houseplants. And the only thing I can think of that we have bought for our house was we finally caved as we were coming out of lockdown, and you were allowed to have sort of tradespeople in your house. I think in June or July, we finally got our dishwasher replaced. We'd gone without it for months, and it was just something that I wanted to do in order to give more time back to myself. I know washing up isn't a huge time out of your day, but it's one of those things I can justify because I consider time to be one of my most valuable resources. So if I could give a little bit of time back to myself for other important things, then I saw that as a benefit. So we did replace our dishwasher, and that's it. But I think that's okay. Like, if something that you use quite regularly and rely on quite a lot gives up and breaks and is beyond repair, which ours was, then I think having a replacement for an item like that is absolutely fine. The next one was beauty appointments. I said I didn't know if I was going to continue getting my nails done, and I have not. I have not gone back to getting my nails done. I suppose in a way I couldn't because of lockdown, but even before then I'd made the decision not to do that. Since the beauty salons have opened up, I've been really tempted to go for like eyebrow appointments or waxing or anything like that, just because I feel like it would be really nice to be pampered in that way. But I've put off doing it because it's all stuff I can do myself at home, and so I'm not spending the money, so I've not paid for any beauty appointments. I also said if I wanted to, I could go and get my hair done, and I haven't. It's still the state it is, and that's just the way it is. I did look into booking an appointment, but again, there's so much faff involved with hair appointments at the minute and setting it up, especially if you want highlights or colouring done, because of having to get like your skin test and stuff. And I was looking at trying out a new salon as well, one that's more local. There's just so many things. I was like, I'll just wait till it goes back to just an easier experience getting my hair done. I can cope. I've gone this long, it'll be fine. The next thing was digital. So my phone contract did run out in March. That was a 30-month phone contract. It came to an end, and I am still rocking the same phone, still in its same old phone case, which literally is like coming to bits. Like, this has nearly come off, but still, it's doing the job. I do not see the point in spending money on a new phone when I've got this one that works. Yes, granted, this is over 30 months old itself, and the model was not a new model when I bought it. I always buy sort of the generation before, because at the time it was cheaper. I was paying £26 a month plus insurance on this, which is the most expensive phone I've ever had. I've never justified like when people spend £40 or £50 a month on their phone. I just don't understand that. But this was £26 plus insurance, and now because I'm not paying for the handset anymore, I've stopped paying for the insurance, because I just feel like if anything happened to this, then I will just start a new contract again. I don't have to worry about paying this one off because it's already paid off, and so it seems pointless to pay for the insurance. So now I'm paying £9 a month for my phone, and that's just for minutes, texts and data. That's what I'm paying for. £9 a month, amazing. And what else did I buy digital? Nothing physical, no DVDs. I downloaded I downloaded 2 music albums from an artist I sort of came across during lockdown, so I could have those then on my phone. So I spent a little bit of money there, but I didn't buy physical copies, and that rule was more about having physical DVDs and CDs rather than spending the money. It was more about not bringing the items into my house, so I'm not too bothered about that. And my husband and I jointly purchased a couple of video games to play during lockdown because it was something else to do. Again, all digital, so I'm not actually going to consider that one a rule break. It is a spend, but you know, it was a way to find something to do during lockdown, which I think was important. I didn't physically bring anything else into my house. I'm going to let that one slide. I'm going to let that one off. Stationery. I do not need any stationery. I'm always tempted by nice notebooks, and I have lots and I don't need any more. This is what I actually wrote. I have too many pens, pencils, everything. I don't need them, and it's not allowed. That has all gone according to plan. With the exception of I bought a set of dividers because I didn't have any, and for my new role at work I had to put together a folder that needed all these different sections, so I bought some dividers. And I also did buy one notebook. It only cost me £1. It was in a line of stationery that was like eco-friendly stationery. It was all made from like recycled material. It was really good, and I didn't get around to using it, so that is definitely a rule break. It was cheap, it was environmentally friendly, but I didn't need it. I honestly bought it for a reason, to start something that I then didn't start, so that's my bad. That is a rule break. I'm counting that as a rule break. Hobbies. So it said I was allowed to spend money on hobbies, but really the only hobby that I have that costs a lot of money is art, and I already had a lot of art supplies. That's good. I did dib into other hobbies over lockdown that cost a little bit of money, but again, not a lot. Things like macrame, and I did some sort of gardening and vegetable growing and planting and things like that. So I did spend a little money in that sense, but that was about it really. So I've not spent a lot, and again, I'm considering that like things that you needed to do to keep yourself busy during lockdown, and I personally think that that's fine and that's okay, so I'm not counting that as a rule break. Books. Have I bought any books? No, I haven't bought any books. I have been gifted one book, which I mentioned in my birthday video, and I've read it. It was amazing. Haven't bought any books myself. The next one was gift cards. I said I was allowed to spend gift cards if they had been gifted to me, but should be treated in the same way as money, so it should follow the rules. The only gift card I had was from last Christmas, and I was really in a difficult place knowing whether to spend it because I didn't want it to be like wasting money, but it was for a fast fashion store, and I said in that video I'm not shopping fast fashion anymore. So that gift card is still in my purse. I haven't spent it, I don't intend to. I think I might just cut it in half and throw it in the bin. I did think about gifting it to someone else, but then that was kind of a bit of a war in my mind, because then am I just encouraging someone else to shop fast fashion? But then it's not my business if someone else wants to shop fast fashion. I don't know. It's still in my purse. I've not decided what I'm going to do with it, but I'm not going to be spending it personally. And that's the only gift card I have had. My husband and I got a joint Amazon gift card, and we've just logged that onto our account, and we've not decided to buy like a joint present together with it. We're just going to use it as and when, if we need little things for the house, our work, anything like small items, it will just come straight off that gift card and we'll spend it that way. I said the experiences, days out, trips, meals, things like that were all allowed. Sadly, there's not been a lot of opportunity for that because of lockdown. I did spend quite a bit of money on our holiday that we were supposed to take through July and August. We, as a family of 6, so my mum and dad, myself and my husband, my sister and her partner, we were all going to go to Florida. We had been quite a few times as children, and this was going to be sort of a last big family trip together. So we'd spent money on like flights, a villa. Luckily we hadn't bought park tickets yet, and we hadn't got any dollars converted yet, and so that didn't happen, but we were very lucky. We got full refunds on everything. So we were one of the lucky parties in this, because I know a lot of people didn't get full refunds depending on like the airline you went with or the companies and whatnot. So I haven't had any opportunities, but that would have been a very big spend, and it would have been a perfectly allowed big spend, but it didn't happen. And the last one was bills. Obviously, I have continued to pay my bills. I'm still in my house, so my mortgage must have still been paid. And, you know, household bills got paid, and that was it. So, that's it. That's just a bit of an update how I'm doing with my no-buy. Yes, there have been slip-ups, as I've mentioned in this video, but all in all, I'm feeling generally okay. I've definitely noticed more money left in my bank account at the end of every month. And as I've mentioned in a previous video, I have started doing things with that money, different sort of savings, investing, and all sorts of things that I am really pleased I have now had the ability to do that, and that's all from doing my no-buy and not spending as much. Just sort of a disclaimer about, because I've mentioned I'm now in a new job, so you might be thinking, well, surely that will make a difference in terms of the money you're seeing at the end of the month. Yes, it will, not by a lot, and also I've not had my first paycheck through for that yet, so far I don't know what that will look like at the end of a month, because I've not finished a full month there yet. So I will eventually know the difference. It will not be that significant, to be perfectly honest, but yes, there will be a difference there, but it's not something I have seen yet. So all the savings that I have seen have come directly from doing my no-buy. Just thought I'd mention that just in case. So that is all from me for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel. It really does help me out, and I really do appreciate every single one of you. If you feel like dropping me a comment down below to chat about all things minimalism, no-buy, anything you like, I love receiving your comments, and I do try to reply to all of them. Thanks again for watching. I hope to catch you in another video next week. For now, that's all from me. Take care. Bye.